class, my dear students. My name is Ashok Sen Gupta from School of Management Sciences, Lucknow. Today, the topic of discussion is comparative structure, and it is a continuous series of relevance theories. Initially, I discussed about that in previous lecture about the irrelevant theories, in which Modigliani gives their views on that, and as per their model they include that they conclude that there is no tax, there is no taxation policy during the dividend. So, we are next we continue this series and of lecture, and today I will also continue the relevant theories, and we will discuss today there with some other models. Today in our discussion we will discuss about the Modigliani and Miller approach, also theory of relevance in case of corporate tax exist, in case of corporate tax exist. So, in their article 1963 they have recognized that the value of the firm will increase or the capital of will decrease with the use of debt of account of deductibility of interest charged for purpose of taxation. So, taxation applied and with which can increase the value of the share or decrease the cost of capital if we implied tax on the interest charges. This is their views in the article 1963. Therefore, the optimum capital structure can be achieved by maximize the debt mix in the equity of a firm, maximize the debt mix in the equity of a firm. So, Modigliani and Miller give two views, one is without tax and other one is with tax, and they give this formula. According to some formula, value of unleveraged firm VU equals to EBIT divided by KO, overall cost of capital, and then we also include tax here, we also include tax here. This is tax rate, this is tax rate. Therefore, the EBIT divided by KO equals to 1 minus T. If T equals to 50%, then EBIT divided by KO into 1 minus .5 into 1 minus 0.5. Hence, this is the implementation of tax, this is the implementation of tax in this theory, and with the implementation of tax Modigliani said the cost will reduce, cost of capital will reduce, and the overall value of the firm will increase. Now, discuss the theory with the help of this diagram, and this diagram you can see this is the this is the degree of leverage and x axis in x axis, and this is value of the firm y axis. Value of the unleveraged firm, value of the unleveraged firm here as per them always being constant, always being constant. Value of unleveraged firm, value of the firm always being constant. Therefore, to increase the value of the firm, they increase the value of the firm, they suggest taxation policy, include taxation policy. So, if this is the tax shield, then it give leverage, then it gives leverage to the value of the firm, and new value of the firm, and new value of the firm having some growth, having some growth. So, new value of the firm moving upward direction due to the upliftment of tax policy and tax shield. In this, therefore, in this case, the value of the firm get leverage by with the help of tax. Hence, if as per the Modi, Gilani and Miller, if company use debt, then after paying the interest, to the from the operating profit, company need to pay the tax. After that, the residual amount will be for the shareholders, but by paying this, the value of the firm will increase, the value of the firm will increase. Let us do some example. There are very small examples here. A company has earning before interest and tax of rupees 1 lakh. It expects a return of rupees investment at 12.5%, 12.5%. Expect, okay, a return on its investment at 12.5%. You are required to find out the value of the firm according to theory. So, here there is no tax given in this question. So, there is no tax given in the question, and the formula I already shown you in this slide. The formula is this. The formula is this, and there is no taxation policy. Therefore, earning before interest and tax 1 lakh rupees. So, earning is 1 lakh divided by expected return of investment 12%. While solving this, it lakhs. So, the value of the firm, we can find out the value of the firm with the help of Modigliani theory and formula is rupees 8 lakh when earning before interest and tax is given, overall cost is given, overall cost is given, and in this case there is no tax. But if there is a tax, then we can include we have this question. There are two firms X and Y which are exactly identical, except that X does not use any debt. X does not use any debt in its financing, while B has rupees 1 lakh. Borrowed from by debenture holders at 5% interest rate. Both of the firms EBIT is 25,000. Equity capitalization rate is 10% and tax is 50%. So, now here question is, there are two identical firms, firms X and firms Y, which are exactly identical, except that X does not use any debt, in its finance, but Y using 1 lakh debt and will pay 5% interest, So, here you can see rate of capitalization is 10% and tax rate is 50%. So, our formula is EBIT divided by KT into KO. So, EBIT is 25,000. Here I actually did this for your help, but I also doing here 25,000 EBIT, cost 10%, 1 minus 0.5. Okay. So, one minus 0.5. Point 5. So, this is the value, of the firm, overall value of the firm. Now, market value of Y which use debt, because value of unleveraged firm X is unleveraged, and its value is this one, this is his value. Okay. This is the value. Now, what is the value of the firm having leverage? So, Y having the leverage? Y having the leverage of 1 lakh, Y having the leverage of 1 lakh. So, the formula is leverage firm equals to value of unleveraged firm plus tax deduction. So, value of unleveraged firm is we note 1.2 tax is 5%, 0.5%. So, 0.5 into 1 lakh. Look at this. This is 1,75,000. This is 1,75,000, and this is 1,25,000. Okay. So, value of the firm, leverage firm increase. The value of the firm increase by leverage. Value of the firm. So, y having the leverage. Therefore, the value of y increase in compared to value of x. Even though we have the same EBIT, both are identical firms, but they have different values, and due to the different values, we conclude that by hypothesis, the value of the firm can change with change in taxation rate or taxation including taxation. Now, our next point of discussion in this irrelevance theory, how does the arbitrage process work? Capital structure arbitrage refers to the strategy used by companies where they take advantage of existing market mispricing across all securities to make profits. In this strategy, there is buying of unvalued securities and sell of the same company's overvalued securities. The main objective is to make use of the pricing inefficiency to make a profit. When company issue capital structure, there is a anticipation that the pricing difference will some point cancel out. So, arbitrage, we know that arbitrage means to meet out one losses by the profit of another asset or another financial asset. Here in capital structure theory, it takes the advantage of pricing of securities, and by using arbitrage we can make profit accordingly. In the most cases, opportunities for mispricing exist between debt link and equity link securities. Mispricing is usually short term and happens because both equity and debt market have different market structure and participants. So, debt market having different participants and equity market have different participants. The both create different price discovery speed as well as process. So, both having the different pricing strategies and differences as well. So, let us understand with some example. For example, if a company surprising reports disappointing earning in the stock market, there will be an immediate drop in the company's stock at 10%. Suddenly company announce something and the company's stock is going down. I give you a live example. You can see last 2 to 3 days Vodafone and Idea stock prices are going down, because there is a statement given by the Aditya Kumar Mangalam Birla that there is some board discussion about the chairmanship of the idea. So, continuous downfall in the price of the VI Vodafone Vodafone share at present. You can see if you whenever you watch this video, then you can see today's date that price have fallen from last 2 days. Even though market has stock market reaches 54,000 highly, but sometimes some stocks are not performing well. So, however, when it comes to the company's bond price, similar information will not reflect immediately. If company also has also having bonds in the market and also having the equity in the market, then same kind of information about the stock price or any information, any negative information not affect the bond prices immediately as compared to the equity market information, equity share information. It takes a few days for the bond prices to go down, mostly 2%. What does this means for a company? It is possible for a company that take advantages of market dynamics and mispricing to make immediate profit. Now, companies price equity shares moving downward, but their debenture price not hampered or move down within only 2%, 3% in compared to 10 to 12% of equity market. So, what is the company's new policy? What company can do? In this case, how we can manage the profit? has suggested a arbitrage mechanism in order to prove their arguments also. The process of financing, and there are two arguments, the process of financing and total market value, the shareholders investors will dispose of share and overall value of the firm, and they purchase the shares of undervalued company, and normally the process will be going to the both terms and retain same value. In such as soon the firm will reach the identical position, the average cost and the average firm will equal. So, the value of the firm and average cost are independent to each other. Let there are two firms A and B, and they are similar except a composition of capital structure. Assume that the firm A is financed only by equity, and whereas B is financed by the debt and equity mix. Debt and equity. So, this is the position of the firm. This equity, it having 2 lakh debt, total 50,000. This is EBIT. So, interest on less interest on debt here, debt capitalization rate is this. Total value of the firm 5 lakhs, and here 5 lakh 33,000 because of the investment in debt. From the above table, we can learn that the value of the leverage B higher than the unleveraged A according to the situation cannot present along with the investor of the holding and the purchase of equity for the personal leverage. They want to purchase the equity shares. So, what they do? Suppose Ram having equity share of 1% and B, he will do the following. First, he will dispose the equity of B. He will take a loan of 2000 at 5% interest rate, then he have 5,333 rupees. With this amount he can purchase the equity share of 1% of A, equity share of 1% of A. So, in this case we saw that Ram investor having equity of in firm B, having equity in firm B, and the equity in firm B, and in this case this is the equity value and 1% is 3333, 1% is 33. So, he sell this one, borrow 2000 rupees at 5% debt capitalization, this is debt capitalization, borrow 2000 rupees, add this one 2000, add this one 2000 and 200, he having now 5,333 rupees. With this he can purchase the shares of, he can purchase the shares of A, he can purchase the shares of A. So, my dear friends, this is the arbitrage theory, and with this this lecture I concluded here that we learned about the leverage, we learned about the relevance theory, non-relevance theory, use of debt and taxations, and this is all about the capital structure theory of irrelevance theories having the hypothesis and the arbitrage process. Thank you for watching this video.